look at each of you, and I see the marks of this long and terrible war. If we die tonight, mankind dies with us.
What was your relationship with the Terminator franchise before being cast?
I was a fan of Terminator 2, in particular. As a kid, I must have pumped that 50 times, classic tale, like burning the tape out on the VHS. And so, yeah, pretty kind of surreal to find myself now a part of that family, but and really cool. And cool to be in one that sort of didn't stretch too far away from some of those themes and ideas that, got me hooked.
It was always very clear that they wanted to build it in with what they loved with James's work previously, and and not just give respect to that, but use it in a way that a modern audience that so that I watched the first one at 16 or whatever could relate to it for a new, and then just take it in its own place and its own reason for being. Not like a new direction or a new whatever, but just a reason for existing. Technology to a new kid these days is not as simple as it was for us, when we grew up. It's a lot more complicated and deeper.
What is his pitch on this new world he wants to create?
Well, that's it for John. There's not room for everybody on the ark, is there? It's like he's. I watched a couple of things. I loved Eddie in 2. I loved in The Matrix where he's interviewing. Where Hugo Weaving is interviewing. He's got Morpheus. And he's beating him up in the chair and he says, "I can't stand the smell of you people." There's an element in John, I think, of he's advanced. He's had enough of fighting this war, never winning this war. Now that this computer's come into him, it feels good. It's not as bad as I thought it would be. I'm no longer weighted by responsibility and this legacy and this war and this death, and then coming into it and seeing people do it and put it upon themselves and give over to it anyway. What's the use of fighting a battle for people that don't want me to fight it? So, Mum, Dad, come on, let's do it. Let's go. Let's create a new world together, the three of us.
I'm sort of a fan myself of time travel movies just because I like drawing the charts and figuring everything out.
All right, cool.
Does that appeal to you at all? Is that fun?
I mean, it does, yeah. It's confusing. I mean, I'm sort of one of those guys that's more likely to be like, I'm sure it works somehow, because there's people far more intelligent than me that map that stuff out. But it's good. It's good when you can get an understanding of it and kind of, because things will trip you up from time to time. And they did on this movie, you're shooting out a sequence for a start. So occasionally it's kind of like, wait, how did... And I've spent time thinking about it. It's not all so obvious, but it is a clever sort of web.
This is also another major sci-fi franchise for you.
Yes.
And I'm curious if that's something that really appeals to you.
Yeah, I love sci-fi. I do. I mean, good sci-fi gives you stuff to think about, doesn't it? It gives you stuff to imagine, whether it's Star Wars or Blade Runner. Technology, as well as getting advanced, has just got a lot more complicated. There's the good with the bad, and John lies at the heart of that. And his reason for being it and accepting it, and saying, you know what, this is the way to go. I am Noah. Here's my boat. Let's get out of here while the flood comes. And that's what I love about it. It's not just machines running computers to send in bombs. It's we are creating it. We're our own worst enemy.
We can stop Judgment Day from happening. Run! Where is he?
I'll be back.
What?